Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this special occasion. I'm Thomas Tobert, the Vice President of American Slave Inc. And on this here joyous occasion, we come to the capital of the United States of America to we come to the capital of the United States of America to illustrate that the capital that started the capitalism of America is still in existence. The American slave is still here, and we like to declare this day as one of our first days of coming forth to America and acknowledging our existence, and on this anniversary of our 400 years of existence, starting back in 1619 of the great passages of the enslaved Africans making it to the shores of what we now know as America. Here 400 years later, we still stand strong and are properly identifying ourselves. According to history, up until 1865, property of American citizens was called American slaves, and thus far after the American after the American Civil War, the slavery was abolished, and with that abolishment, the people went with it, according to paperwork. But in reality, the people still live here, thriving as a people of misidentified characters. Let it all be from colored to Negro to what we now call ourselves African Americans. But the truth is known to set you free. So to understand that we come from a descendants of American slaves, one of the greatest things America ever done was to build a baby nation completely for capital purposes. So we are here today in the nation's capital to say that we understand that we are the initial capital that made this country great, and we expect our due representation as the sole child of America. And we've come as far just to understand that we are such a powerful nation to where we even have a flag to illustrate our nationality. I would like to expose it. Like I said, on this day here, we work to celebrate our anniversary of the 400 years of our existence with a beautiful Descendants of American Slave flag. As you can see, it kind of reflects the flag of Betsy Ross, but with a little bit of difference as we have the 24 stars. 23 of the stars were the states that sided with the Union in the great battle of the Civil War, and the main star is the star that the war was for, the American slave. And the 13 stripes are the colonies that originated America, so we are just here to claim our birthright and our existence in this great country as descendants of American slaves. So for too long, we have gone by nicknames, which are, like I said, is Negro, colored, and African American. So we are here to acknowledge our government name, which is American slave. Now, to go a little bit more, I'm Thomas Tobert. I'm just a man from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised in one of the greatest cities in our country, and I've come to this awareness throughout my life, growing up in such a diverse community, learning all different cultures and ethnicities, and realizing that it was something baffling about mine. I would say lost in the wilderness until I was able to read Dr. Shelton's America's Little Black Book when I was 21 years old. Reading this book opened my eyes to what the confusion of the illusion that I was experiencing as a child and as a young adult, giving claim to my true birthright. I now understand that American slavery is my ethnicity. Race, I may be black, but we're not talking about race, we're talking about ethnicity here today. If we talk about race, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't think we have that much time. But just to come forth and to say that I represent descendants of American slaves, because when I look at my ancestry from my mother's side and my father's side, it goes straight to plantations in the South. So it's no baffling or confusing topic that me and millions of other people, when we trace our roots, it goes straight to the plantations, given the facts that we are descendants of American slaves. Now, just a little backtracking. Yes, the Civil War ended physical slavery, but once you get into the details of how slavery was implemented on a whole culture of people, you realize that the mental part was way more than the physical part. Now, yes, the Civil War may have freed us from physical slavery, but the mental slavery has been instilled to never have been removed from our existence, yes, better yet, acknowledged. Without the acknowledgement of it, we cannot go forward, so we strive in confusion and disillusion actually going backwards. We are the only class of people that have went backwards in our existence. We are now what they consider a minority, but for the first 300 years of America, we were the majority minority. But now we have fallen down to a minority and going even backwards faster than we have ever moved forward because of the illusion of our identity. Claiming our true identity as American slaves, we can usher forward in a comparable manner with no hostility. We understand that the past is the past, but we must move forward. So recognizing the past for what it is and moving forward with a positive plan, that's where we come into play with, like I said, America's Little Black Book gives us our identity, and then the American Slave Renaissance gives us a plan to move forward, to instill us into the economic system that America was created on behalf. Like I said, we are the nation's first capital, so that's why we're here today in the nation's capital on our anniversary of our existence in this country. So, like I said, that's my little spiel, and I like to hand this time over to the gentleman who opened my eyes to this information, the great Dr. Shelton.